Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another car video. The word game. And we'll put that in quotation marks, right? One thing I gotta say, I'm glad it's finally winter. Winter was holding on for dear life. Spring was just like, all right, I give you your time. Finally starting to get a little warm out here. Still gotta wear that fleece though, but don't have to wear the hat. Coughing and whatnot still because this weather changes. But anyway, the word game. You know what? One of my videos last week had a gentleman, I presume to be a gentleman, who said something about the use of the word game. He was like, games are for little boys and girls and all of that. And, I said, look, it's just slang. You know, I want to go further with that because I know there's some people that hear the word game and automatically assume it's about deception and stuff. No, game, in the context of relationships, it can mean strategy. In the context of the streets, it just means knowledge and common sense. It's going through life. I mean, it depends on it because many words can mean something different and have several different meanings depending on the context. The word shit means a lot. You could say I'm the shit, or you're full of shit, right? Or this shit is good. It depends on the context, right? And that's the same thing with the word game. It depends on the context of it. Like you can say your beard game is sharp. Are you lying if you take care of your beard or anything? No. Or your shoe game. Or, it's really the context. Now, even with, we'll stick to the relationship part, right? All game is just strategy. It don't necessarily mean you lying to somebody. It's how you going to go about, a man or a woman. Since women got more game. Yeah, they do. About your strategy for getting a mate in that context. If we just stick with that, I mean, you could be the type of guy, of course, there are some people who lie, and there's some people who are deceptive. That's their game. That's their strategy for getting, a member of the opposite sex. Now, I ain't saying I personally condone it, but that's their strategy. But then you can get somebody else who's totally honest, right? Never use the word game, don't like deceptive practices and all of that. Guess what? They still got game. But their game is just different. Their game is just, being righteous, being straightforward. Shout out Alan Roger Curry. If you straightforward and upfront, that's your game. That's your style. That's your strategy. Right? And, just using the term game, I'm going to put it like this. Everyone is familiar with my book, Nice Guys and Players, right? The working title for the book was The Holistic Development of a Man, right? And then another one was Becoming a Real Man. Now, the first one, it was alright. It was alright, but I would have been very limited in my crowd. Because you would have got maybe people who were into holistic living or more on an intellectual tip. They might have picked up the books. I don't think I would have sold 500 copies. Right? But I say Nice Guys and Players. Everybody has a feeling about that. Everybody knows that. Boom. See, part of any language, if you're in a public position, right? Like I'm doing videos. I've done public speaking. About to start kicking up some public speaking again and stuff, doing some seminars. Got some people setting up some stuff, so the Rom Wills World Tour is coming, right? You have to, as an experienced public speaker, like I'm actually getting paid. I'm standing in front of people. I've spoken in churches, spoken in seminars, spoken to young teenage baby mamas. If you come up there and you're real dry and you're talking in technical terms and even sometimes you can't break the monotony is monotonous, you're not changing your voice tone or anything, well, people going to be like, they ain't going to receive the information. But if you go up there and you speak, you use some slang. You use slang, if you know the local colloquialisms, you use that. You change your voice tone up. You go from real low to, yeah, we're going to do it like this. Switch it up. You can be real serious, throw a joke in there to break up the monotony. Boom. You captivate people. Like an example I saw of that, I think I mentioned on here, I went to an air expo in my area in Baltimore, right? And they had Jennifer Lewis speaking, the actress, mother of Black Hollywood, right? I peeped how she was hitting us with some deep stuff, right? Like deep, talking about molestation, sexual assault, stuff like that, some life stuff, but then she'd do something right in the middle of it. Even cursed a few times. Well, quite a few times, right? When you're communicating with people, you gotta think about how you're doing it. Now, most people, they're going to understand stuff, right? They're going to get it, right? And, sometimes people get it, they get too caught up into the semantics of things instead of the meaning. It's like the word bad. Now, if you use the word bad in conjunction with the word bad boy, right? That's usually like, you would call that person a thug, scuzzy, against the law. If you say bad girl, usually, or, that's kind of like that woman who's, she's kind of loose and everything. Or if you say the woman is bad as shit, that shit word again, right? That generally means she's like real attractive, fine, and all of that. So it's, you always have to think in terms of the context, what it's used for, and everything. Now, when I use the word game, it's knowledge. And, most people take it that way. But, of course, you always get somebody who doesn't. And this video ain't against them, but I know other people, they'll say, well, I don't play games. Well, okay, what do you do to get a person? What do you do to get a member of the opposite sex? And they're like, well, I'm just totally honest with them, and I don't lie or anything. Okay, that's your game, fam. That's your game right there. All right? It's depends on the context, purely. So, and my point with that is this. Understand the context. With me personally, I would challenge anybody to point out anytime I've told people to be deceptive and act anything other than grown. Right? And that's just me personally. But also to understand when someone talks, you got to speak in a language people understand. Like, I'll give you another example. The word alpha and beta. I've gone on record several times as saying I don't like the terms. Because I think everybody got some alpha in them. I think they got some beta, depending on their circumstances. Where they at. But that being said, I know if I want to communicate certain ideas to people, I'll use the terms. It's ultimately code switching. If I'm talking with a group of men and about, select, non-select, and they need a translation from it since they might not use those terms, I'll say alpha and beta. And that's the key. And it's like, even when I'm in I'm up at this restaurant, but I can't go in that parking lot because you got folks who park too goddamn close to the car, and if I scratch their shit, they gonna feel like, I'm in the wrong. Ooh, there's a lot of space there. I'm still not trusting that shit. Anyway, right? I would say this, just end up on this, right? Don't get too caught up into the words. Get caught up into the context, how it's used, what's actually being said. Because you do get some people, they kind of miss something because they get too caught up. Even with slang. Yeah, I know I got a story with that too. I just thought about it one time, right? Like when I started There used to be a song out by Grace Jones. I think it was Grace Jones. It's been a while. It was called "Pull Up to the Bumper, Baby." Right now, I remember it was played around '83. I graduated high school in '83, right? And in the DC area at the time, if you said "pull up," right, it would be you would that meant you would approach a woman, right? Like you gonna pull up to this woman and stuff, right? Pull up to a, and especially if you went to go-go's back then, you could like walk up to a woman, grab her around the waist, and start grinding on the dance floor and stuff. And if it felt good to her, she might look back at you, right? So that was the context. Now I remember I went to school in Philly, right? I was up there. I was at a party, right? And now the party was round over, right? And I remember a dude said to me, he said, "Yo, man, you about to pull up?" And I'm looking at him like, pull up? I ain't seen nobody I want to mess with. It's just like that. But apparently pull up for them meant just leaving, right? And my point is, don't get caught up, like anybody, don't get caught up in the terms. Get caught up in the actual actions and stuff. And also learn. Be open to it because it'll change, where you term, slang, it can change by the region, by the neighborhood sometimes. Seriously, right? Because remember, the word game, it's just strategy. That's it. People say, what's your game and stuff. That's it. Just like playing basketball. And as I did a video last week, the game of life or something, how you going to play it and everything. So anyway, that's it for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.